Howdy there, everybody. Franklin Tackert here. It's time for the virtual coffee break, and here is my coffee. Grab your beverage and let's chat for just a minute, shall we? Okay, so the topic has been coming up a lot lately in conversations with clients and colleagues and peers and a lot of people. It's all about the impending age of artificial intelligence. And it amazes me to see how much changes from week to week in the area of AI, because I know that there's just tons of research being done on it right now and lots of development. And it seems like that every time you turn around that AI is being used for, to take over another realm of human purpose. Everything from self-checkout at the grocery store to writing copy to, even doing basic graphic design and painting and things like that. Artificial intelligence, I don't think it can be avoided, and we don't know even I don't even think we have an awareness of a fraction of the possibilities of what artificial intelligence is going to make possible for humans. And one of the things that we do know is that it is going to affect the way that we work and the opportunities that are available to us, because a lot of what we do, a lot of the labor that we put forward can be turned over to, a machine that has the ability to learn. And I'm not terrified of that. Now, I know that there are some folks that are really, taking a look at what are the not so positive extremes that can go to. And I'm glad that they're looking at it. I think that it's important for us to think about. But quite honestly, I think that just like every other technological advance in the history of humanity, there's so much that we can't know before the advance happens about what we're going to do after. Everything from, every major technology change in our history has been, kind of started with oh my God, what does this mean for us? Kind of a thing, like going back to the industrial age when the Industrial Revolution was happening and labor was being transferred over to, machines. And all of a sudden, some of the things that became possible were that, instead of one person spending a whole day sewing one shirt, a machine could handle sewing 1,000 shirts in the same amount of time, drove the costs of the goods down, and it freed up that labor for other things. And so every time that there's been an advance, we've been afraid of it at the beginning because of the implications that it has for the way that we do things now. But just like everything else, there's going to be a period where we, learn and adjust and find out what is our next realm of possibility. And I have a feeling that that's going to be happening now too. I hesitate to predict where it's going to go. But one of the things that we can look at is that all of a sudden there's a shift in the value of things because it hasn't required a human who needs a certain standard of living in order to finish it. A machine has done it. A machine can do it for a fraction of the cost. And machines can be, updated, upgraded, replaced as needed for a lot less than it takes to train a human to do the same job, and probably not at the same pace. So one of the things that we've got to look at is, how will we be useful? What will have value? If human labor is no longer kind of a standard of value, what will we use to trade? Will there need to be a trade mechanism? Will we have to go back to the barter system? So those are some questions that I really have been thinking a lot about lately. But one of the things that I know is that with every one of these advances, that humans have, not known what was really possible for them until much after the fact. It's like, I was thinking about it, as I mentioned not too long ago, I was thinking about my grandfather, born in 1893, and his first job was driving a buckboard wagon 136 miles one way from Montpelier to Driggs, Idaho, and back. And the entire 250-mile circuit took him a whole week over Teton Pass and, through all kinds of weather. And it was over dirt roads. And the thing that was really interesting is, like, within a few decades, that same journey with a truck on a paved road took less than half of a day. So all of a sudden, the labor that was needed to transport all of those goods was shifted dramatically. So what did that mean for people like my grandfather who depended on that job? Well, he had to take his skills and move into other directions, and the way that he ultimately moved was toward the railroad. Well, the railroad was going strong at that time. It was kind of the primary way of transporting goods and people and services all across the country. And so it was in kind of a heyday at that point. And then all of a sudden the interstate highway system came along, and they found that it was somewhat cheaper to be able to truck goods directly between stations, and the interstate highway system made it much more efficient. Well, now we've got Amazon talking about using drones to deliver things directly to the customer on the same day that it's ordered. So all of that labor that has been used to transport goods from one place to another, we're talking about yet another realm of change in how that is done. What's on the other side of that for all the people who were displaced by it? Well, they're probably going to have to learn new skills. They're probably going to have to be, they may be the ones that learn how to program the AI. They may be the ones that, decide that, they can paint better than their AI app. And so they're going to go ahead and do the creative things that they've always wanted to do. But again, I don't think it's something that we need to be worried about. It's just something that we need to pay attention to, and we need to be adaptive. We need to be ready to adapt to whatever circumstances the new technology brings about. We don't know exactly for sure what that's going to look like, and we can't know yet. We can make some educated guesses, but the educated guesses, have just as much of a chance to be wrong as any other guess. So my advice to the person that I was talking to today was, don't get too wrapped up about AI, taking your job immediately. And one of the things that we've got to look at is it possible for humans to partner with AI to get things done better, more efficiently, with greater detail, with greater all of the different ways that we can do our jobs better? Is it possible that AI can be an enhancement instead of a replacement? So those are my thoughts about artificial intelligence. If you have anything that you'd like to add to the conversation, feel free to make a comment. I will be looking forward to another coffee break tomorrow, and I appreciate, as always, your time and your attention. Have a good whatever it is where you are. So long.